Welcome to ministry, number 10. I heard just today that most podcasts don't make it past number 8. And here I am at number 10. Yay for me! However, when I started this, I thought I was going to try and do 10, and so I've reached my goal. And I think this is it. I'm probably going to do some other podcasts and maybe head in some other directions, but for Welcome to Ministry, this is it. Number 10. Do something else. Charles Spurgeon said that if you can do anything besides the professional pastorship and be satisfied with your life, do that. And here's why. Ministry's hard. The full-time vocational pastorship is hard. 1,700 men and women left the ministry every month last year. Every month. Because the ministry is hard. It will test you in ways you cannot expect. Now listen, I'm not trying to discourage you. If God has called you to full-time ministry, then step up and do what you're called to do. But if you have not been called to the full-time vocational ministry, I'm concerned about that number of 1,700. And I'm concerned about how many of those people were not called. Maybe they got in the ministry out of guilt. Maybe they got in the ministry out of a sense of duty. I don't know. But if you're not called to this, you need to not do it. And I'm concerned about broken people. People who got into the ministry and now they're broken. They didn't just get hurt. They've lost their faith. Because they shouldn't have been doing this. It wasn't what God called them to do. There was something else they could have done and been satisfied. I'm concerned about broken homes that happen because people are working against the grain of who they are. And in the midst of that, they get weak and Satan attacks and wins. I'm concerned about broken churches that happen when people who are not called to the ministry are leading in ways that they shouldn't be. Now listen, I'm not saying you can't do ministry. In fact, that's my other concern. I'm concerned that the kingdom will be weakened when you're not doing what you're called to do. That's my brother's story. He was going to go into the full-time ministry until someone said to him, "Wait, you don't feel a call on your life to do this full-time?" And he said, "Well, no, I don't guess I do." And they said, "Then do something else." And you know what? He is a vital part of the church. He is a discipler. He is a teacher. He makes a huge difference in many lives through his own podcast that he does and ministry that he does. He affects a lot of ministers and brings health to their life. So I'm not telling you don't do ministry. I'm telling you don't do full-time vocational pastorship unless this is what you're called to. Listen, Billy Graham came to the Lord because of Billy Sunday, and Billy Sunday came to the Lord because of Dwight L. Moody. But Dwight L. Moody came to the Lord because of a shoe salesman. So don't think that you're somehow a lower category of Christian because you're not in the full-time vocational ministry. The full-time vocational ministry is a special calling from God. And it is a calling in which 99% will not do. If you are not 100% certain that this is the only place you can live and be fulfilled, you need to do something else because this job will test the limits of what it means to love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind and all your strength. This is the place where you are in the spotlight all the time. You're in the spotlight of the community. People are watching. Your church is watching. The city is watching. People are watching what you're doing all the time, and you can't get away from it. You're in the spotlight of heaven. Heaven says that when you do ministry, when you choose to be an instructor and a teacher of the people, that you have a double responsibility to them, and you are in the spotlight of hell. And let me be clear, hell is coming. If you do this job, hell is coming after you every day, because if they can tear you down, they can tear the church down. And that's hell's desire, to hurt God through you. So if you're not in this 100%, if you're not certain of your calling, please, please, please do something else. God will still use you, probably more powerfully. But all that being said, if you are certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you cannot do anything else because you were made for this. I was born to do full-time vocational ministry. If that's you, if that's who you are, well, welcome to ministry.